Okay, we are live. We're
Ooh,
live, and let's make sure that we've got volume.
yes. And while you're doing that, I am Chloe,
And I am Sandy.
and this is WordStitch.
This is
And
WordStitch.
hopefully, you will hear everything we just said. We will find out momentarily. We'll find out when you
Yeah.
find out, which is a
Okay.
different time than when
We
we're speaking right
are
now, because there is about a 30-second
live.
delay.
Okay, we have volume. We are good. We're on.
Cool. Okay.
Okay, so what, like, Happy New Year, right?
Yes, it
Yeah.
is officially a new year. It is 2020.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yep.
And we have goals for the year.
We have so many goals. Some
So many
say too
goals.
many goals.
So too many goals. I said I would show this off. I got like inspired by our goal setting thing and bought an entire goal journal. Look at this,
Oh.
you goal girl.
With like the cheesiest name ever.
I love it.
I am not basic enough to love that, but I support you.
I've actually been filling it out. It's like decently easy, although I can see that I have already skipped a day of gratitude. Damn it. Things are going terribly. So Chloe, what about you? Do you have a thing that you've written your goals out down on at this point?
Like I've got a dry erase board.
Nice. And which one are you working on today?
I am working on an Easter demon for Eloise.
And I am working on an angel romance that is basically due in like a month and only half written.
Yeah. Did you? I never actually thought to ask before, but did you finish Lizzie Dupree?
No.
Aw.
No.
I was hoping
No.
for a different answer there.
I know. And I ultimately decided that like it was that since I had a deadline on one and not on the other, that I should really like shut down my efforts on Lizzie Dupree and
This is
finish.
100% true.
Yeah. So it was a necessary thing. But I do plan to go back to it and hopefully, I don't know about you, but when I'm drafting a story, I find it really hard to draft more than one story at a time. Like I can't switch back and forth easily in a single day, but I can switch back and forth with like editing and drafting. So hopefully after I finish this draft on Friday, um, I will have time to go back to Lizzie Dupree.
Yeah.
That is the goal. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't write two things at the same time either.
Mm-mm.
Like especially like uh yeah, no. No, I guess if they were similar stories maybe, or if it was like in the same verse I could,
Oh, I think that's even
but like
harder.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, but so okay, so we were gonna potentially talk about RWA today, but I feel like
Yeah.
we can't do that in the next like 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, no. We're not talking about it right this second.
No, but we can talk about it
Yeah.
at the break. And if
Yeah.
you are with us, you can chat and let us know what you are up to. Hopefully everybody's actually writing today. Like I feel like when you get to January, like this time of January, you need to be like up and at
Yeah.
'em, you know, like
Yeah, I feel like at this point you've gotten past your like if you were doing nano that I feel like we all go into a bit of a slump right after
mm-hmm.
nano because it is quite a bit of pressure for most people.
Yeah.
But we are definitely past that now and now we are in New Year's resolution world.
Yeah.
There should be a bunch of people writing today and then we'll all fizzle out eventually. But
Yes.
yes.
Or like this
Uh,
is this is
so,
not a drill.
it is about that time though.
Okay.
So we are going to do our first sprint for 10 minutes. And it is about 5 after right now. So we will see you guys at 15 after. Oh, it would help if I shared screen. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We
I'm
were
looking at
we
like
were
too
ahead of the
many
game.
screens right now.
It was fine.
I was thinking about that, and I always try to like get it when our clock switches over to
Mm-hmm.
5 after, but that's not when the people who are viewing this see it. So yeah, there you go, guys. We'll see you in 10 minutes.
Okay. We are back. Sorry
Ooh,
about that. Slight
that's
delay
fine.
there. Hello to those of you who have joined us. Oh, we have some goals, some writing and some nails going on. I
Yes,
appreciate that.
I
Yeah.
always support that.
I actually I think writing time is like the perfect time to do your toenails. Like it's the only time
Oh,
that I'm
yeah,
ever able to sit still. But that was a total
right.
side note.
And
Um,
it's a good excuse to be like, no, no, I can't get up.
so good, so good.
I'm writing, but actually, it's just that my nails are drying.
Right. All right. Let's see how we did in terms of words here, because today's words count. So I had like a little technical glitch there. The laptop that I'm writing on is like all slow right now.
Oh,
So I lost like 2 minutes trying to make my computer work, and I got 239 words. Ooh, 347 is a really good number. That's from Herb. Hello, Herb. Hello, Haley. Nice to have you guys here again. Um, so what about you, Chloe? How'd you do in terms of your words?
I got 345. So that is,
345.
I was telling Scandy before we actually started, I've been having issues getting back into writing. I've been working on stuff, but I haven't been actually like doing rough draft writing for over a month now. And I've been having issues getting back into it. So this was actually like really good for me to get that count out like that.
Excellent. So we
Yeah.
totally promised talking about RWA, and I feel like Chloe, you probably have the best handle on like the general situation. Do you want to overview it? I think you should.
Oh, okay. I will do the best I can. Little clarification, RWA is Romance Writers of America, and it's one of the strongest writing organizations in the country. Um, and they serve a lot of functions. They do a lot to like help writers. Um, get their careers going. They're also anytime there is a scandal in the community when like legal situations arise, they're kind of the ones who handle it. They're the ones you want to go to for advice for how to handle stuff. So there was a couple of complaints that happened last year in August and September against one of their members, Courtney Milan. Courtney Milan is a board member, excuse me, was is the correct term now. She was one of their board
Well, she was
members. She was,
an
oh,
ethics board member, right? Not an actual
yeah,
board member.
yes. Oh, yes. I think she was also a board member. I could be wrong. Yeah, she, I believe so, because she had to like step down. She had to recuse herself from this.
From the ethics committee. I think this matters because one of the things later like didn't apply to her because she wasn't a board member at the time.
Oh, she wasn't a board member at the time because she had stepped down or she had recused herself.
No, I think well maybe whatever.
Yeah.
She was a leader, right? Like that's our biggest
Yes.
purpose here. Yeah. Okay.
um,
Sorry.
yeah. So, so Courtney Milan is accused of basically tweeting things that negatively impact these two, one a writer and one publisher's career. She called one writer, a novelist she had written from 1999. She had called it a racist
An
piece of
effing racist mess.
I
Got that
think
right.
this mess. Thank you.
No problem.
So she got a complaint about that. And then this publisher complained that she had basically, the publishing house was basically on a platform of inclusion. And one of the members of this company had a history of racism that I feel like we're fairly well documented. It was an editor. I'm sorry, I just pulled up the stuff from it. So the fact that she basically, this was Susan Tisdale filed this complaint because Courtney Milan criticized her for keeping this woman Sue Grimshaw on staff, even though Grimshaw had a history of racism, and also was a Trump supporter. This is what Milan said, and whether, I don't care if you're a Trump supporter or not, but Milan called her out for that. And so Tisdale filed a complaint that this caused her to lose contracts with her publishing house. And then, of course, the other woman just complained that what is that? Is that slander or libel or?
Well, I think, okay, so the lawyer part of me is like totally going off right now because I think I think some of those facts are a teeny tiny bit mixed up. Tisdale is the publisher. Susan
Yes, that's what I said.
Publisher. And it's Catherine Davis who is the editor.
No, Grimshaw is the editor.
Grimshaw is one of the editors.
For Tisdale. Right. Davis is the writer who made the awful Chinese, Caucasian characters.
But okay,
two separate complaints. Yeah.
Oh, it's two separate complaints?
Yes. Oh,
it's more than one?
Something new today as well. So there are two separate complaints.
Because I know there's a Tisdale one and I know there's a Davis one, and I've read them both, but I didn't know that Tisdale filed two complaints.
No. Tisdale has one complaint and Davis has one complaint, but those two complaints are unrelated. Tisdale complained that Courtney Milan called her out on having Sue Grimshaw on staff. And Sue Grimshaw is notorious for racist comments and for being a Trump supporter.
Okay.
But Tisdale had her inclusion platform. So Milan said, well, you can't have a racist when you're trying to do an own voices thing. That was one complaint. Completely separate complaint was from Catherine Lynn Davis, who Milan said wrote a fucking racist mess.
Okay, so all right. So let's make sure that we've got this right. So, yes. There's this publishing house run by the Susan Tisdale woman. She's got some editors who have probably been a little bit questionable in the past in terms of racist activity and being Trump supporters. And Courtney Milan calls this out because Susan Tisdale says our house was created because we, we're going to be more inclusive of people of color. And Courtney Milan is like, and have you decided to publish anybody who's done anything of color? And they're like, well, nobody's submitted anything. And she's like, okay, so maybe there's something wrong here. And then this Catherine Davis, who is, I don't know if she was going to be a writer for them also. I think she might have been one of Tisdale's editors. I think she might have been.
It is definitely her book.
Yes, for sure, her book.
She is written.
Yeah. But I think the contract that she lost was with a different publisher.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
She's an editor for Tisdale, and
she
lost a publishing contract with somebody else.
They are two completely unrelated things. And I had slightly disconnected it. Davis supposedly accused her of losing this one contract for 3 books because of her, while Tisdale said that she was losing many contracts over it.
Yeah.
But they were unrelated.
Well, they're not unrelated. The Tisdale complaint for sure relates directly to Catherine Davis. But,
does it?
Yeah.
Because Tisdale's is over comments that Milan made about Sue Grimshaw.
Maybe there seriously are more than one complaint. The one that I'm looking at from Susan Tisdale definitely says, Sue Grimshaw is listed there. This happened after they discovered Sue Grimshaw had liked a tweet on Twitter about President Trump. Yeah. But then it goes on to say that like there's a reference to Miss Milan attacking one of her acquisition editors, Catherine Davis, and then there's the tweet. Someone sent me a link
Oh,
to the book written by the other editor, Catherine Davis. This is actually really interesting because Tisdale and Catherine, they're like two complaints, actually list the same, like approximately the same codes that are violated. So it almost looks like the same person wrote both because probably the
well,
same person did.
and as we talk a little bit further about this, which we are about to go back to
Yeah,
writing in a second here, but as we talk further about this, it does seem an awful lot like these complaints have in fact been engineered by the same person.
yeah, yeah.
Who is neither of the people that we have mentioned so far. We are going to write for the next 25 minutes though, and hopefully when we come back, we'll have a little bit more organization
Well, that
here.
was a background. Okay, so let's write now.
But yeah, so that is where we are starting on this. Okay, so we'll see you guys. Oh, what's going on? Sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. We'll see you guys in 25 minutes. Go ahead and start now.
Okay, we're back. I think we're back. Can you hear me? I think you're muted, Chloe.
Apparently, I'm unmuted and then muted myself again.
Well, I was apparently unmuted the whole time, so sorry for my typing in the background.
Oh, I
Oh,
was just hearing car sounds.
oh, sorry guys about all of that. So, okay, wait. So let's do a word count. Let's see where we all are. I gotta.
Oh no, Herb, how many words did you lose?
Scrivener hadn't saved since 403? I didn't think Scrivener could do that.
I think it's all your settings. And if his computer crashed, like it could be something that was like holding up.
Oh, that's horrible when Scrivener fail. I have only had Scrivener fail me like that one time.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
That's a
and
bunch of
it
words.
does. It totally sucks when
Yeah.
you lose something. Ugh. Okay, 400 can be made
Yeah.
up though. It's
Yeah.
okay. What were you at, Chloe? I was at about 809.
Oh, jeez. I was I don't know. I was at like 500, but also like I had to get up and deal with the cats and stuff. So that's okay. Yeah.
So okay, so shall we keep gossiping about the
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to take over from here?
All right. I'm clearly excited about this. Okay, so
It's
here's
craziness.
I know, no, it is. It is. I actually, I really didn't think I would be interested in this because it is actually kind of legal. Like
Oh,
these
it's
two
very
people,
legal. Yeah.
yeah. Like so. I mean, basically, like this Tisdale and Davis filed these like serious complaints with RWA, which is not the same as filing a legal complaint. Although I think that they may have filed legal complaints as well. Um, and okay, so Courtney Milan, if you guys are not aware, is an attorney. Ooh,
But
1,115. Nice work, Haley. Sorry, side note.
okay, that's
Um,
fantastic.
all right, with the writing. Okay, so Courtney Milan is an attorney herself, and like not just an attorney. She's somebody who clerked for a Supreme Court justice. So like, I think I'm getting that right. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I am. So like I as Chloe knows, I have some issues because she went to the University of Michigan and I went to Michigan State, and like there's an intense rivalry between these schools that makes it really hard for a Michigan State person to like a U of M person, but mad respect to her for being a Supreme Court justice. And she like responds to these complaints and like destroys them. It's like a hands down destruction, kind of like a like this doesn't apply to me because of X, Y, and Z. I don't even know why you threw that in there. Like nothing is going on here that makes sense. Like, are you paying attention to language at all? And RWA comes back with like a statement that basically makes no sense whatsoever. Like they're like, well, we, want to walk a line between um, you know, trying to encourage professional behavior and also inclusion and such. And I'm skipping way ahead because between all of this, right, like the board fires Courtney Milan essentially from
Yeah.
RWA, like forever. Like she gets a whole 1 year ban. They tell her that this is like minimal like punishment. She's banned for life from leadership positions in RWA. She can like no longer serve on the so like major
Oh,
destruction.
it's also important to note that she's made like the arguments, the things that caused this to happen was her calling out people for being racist, and that's
Yeah.
kind of her job in RWA. Again, she is the chairwoman of the ethics committee. She is there. She is biracial. It is part of her platform. She has always been there to fight this issue of their very cis het white culture that they have in RWA. That's why she was brought in, was literally to do the job of calling people out on being racist.
Yeah,
Uh,
and
Not like, and I realize that that's like dumbing it down some, but like
No.
this is her, like her whole function with RWA is to make people aware of these issues and to make sure that own voices writers are coming in.
Right, right.
Um, so she's getting penalized for doing exactly what everybody knew she was there to do.
So Twitter like explodes, right? And
Twitter explodes, and it's 2 days before Christmas that this begins. So that's the other, like, it's just insanity.
oh my
All
gosh,
around.
the tweets from
Yeah.
romance writers being like, "What did they think that we couldn't rap and tweet at the same time?" like,
Yes.
what? What way
Yeah.
did they try to disguise this? It's so funny, but yeah. So the board like rescinds the vote, like they re-vote and are like, "Oops, our bad," but not really. Like, sort of like we're rescinding the vote, but we're
Yeah.
mostly just doing this because like Courtney Milan sort of like blew up the internet, and therefore like we don't want to get in any more trouble. So now RWA looks like, well, they have effectively punished one of their members for calling out racism.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, right, so glad you left. Yeah, like I was never a part of RWA because there are like membership fees and such, so I don't know,
Yeah.
this never affected me, but still, like, oh my gosh, what happened there? That, like,
Yeah.
I told Malcolm when I tried to explain this to him, I was like, Malcolm, this is like as if the American Bar Association like completely wigged out and like fired one of their big people for, like, I don't know, being like pro inclusion and anti-racism. Like that's what happened there.
Yeah.
Like she just got told she wasn't allowed to speak.
Yeah. Well, and so a little bit based on what Herb said, just a little further clarification on that. RWA has already gotten in trouble about 15 years ago for basically putting out a statement saying that romance was between a man and a woman. They came out anti-LGBT, caused huge drama. It's the reason that a lot of the big names in romance of the older generations are not in RWA because this craziness that they did in not that long ago, saying that romance could only be
Which
heterosexual.
is theoretically not
So
how they are now.
Courtney Milan was kind of brought in to fix that. That's what I mean. That like there is very much this very negative, very white cis hetero culture in RWA that she was brought in to address. And there have been a lot of like major steps since then. With their awards, they're giving out a lot more awards to own voices writers. So they were like really proud of like how everything went this year. And then all this happens, and then Courtney Milan basically puts out a tell-all of like, by the way, here's all the crappy stuff that I've been trying to fight for years that I've been ineffective with. So I'm going to tell you guys all of this and about like all the like. There's a lot of bad stuff with their awards that she was bringing out, and then also as this goes on, it turns out that this all sounds like it might have been engineered by their current president. The thing with their current president is he is writing for Dream Spinner Press. If anybody is not aware of what was going on with yes, of course, there were many things other than the Trump thing, and that was why I clarified that
Yeah.
like there was more than just the Trump thing that made her say that this woman is notorious for racist statements. It just also Courtney is not a Trump supporter, and yeah, so that was part of it. Again, Courtney Milan is a lawyer. This is kind of her bread and butter. She really likes to get involved in these things. So there's a side scandal going on. and that is that Dream Spinner Press has not paid out royalties for over a year to several writers in RWA.
Ooh.
Did you not know that?
I'm sure you told me that, but every time I hear
Yeah.
something like that, I'm like a
Um,
little extra
the
stunned.
permanent president of RWA, who is a gay man, writes gay romance.
Gay
Um,
fireman romance. It's actually very good.
yes. He is one of the big writers for Dream Spinner. He's never had problems with royalties, and he's been doing everything he can to not address the Dream Spinner issue. Um, so
Wow.
there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes here. And then as you like get into the details with it, this Damon Suede is the president's name. He basically everything that he did was set up so that nobody knew what was going on, and that Courtney Milan was just going to be kicked out of RWA.
Wow.
Without following any of the protocol, but also saying, I am following the protocol. But of course, when you have um, lawyers and also just a whole bunch of people who are writers but come from different backgrounds, all coming together to fact find on this, it's looking really bad.
And we should get to writing again, but we should also clarify real briefly that like this is our take on like what's available on the internet. So, we heard it on the internet.
I will say though that a lot of it has been, I mean, a lot of it is first person accounts. A lot of
Yeah.
it is literally coming from um, statements that these people have themselves made. I really like, I've been really happy about what I've been seeing online because most of it does have cited references for it. But we are going to write. We're going to write for a half hour. It is 3 after now because I went on a little bit of a ramble. So we are going to be writing until 33 after. So we will see you guys then.
Okay.
Apparently, I was the one who forgot to mute that time.
Oh, were you? I did not notice.
I just noticed.
Whew. Okay. Um. Alrighty. So let's see here. Let's do the word thing. Oh, I thought I was going to be really close to the 1000 this time, but I was further away than I thought.
I was not even a little bit close at 557.
I got to 839, but that's not that far away from what I did in the 25. And looks like we might be losing one of our members here. Thanks for joining us. If you do have to leave early, Haley. And hopefully, anybody who's joining us got a lot of words in. But so where were we with our RWA thing? Oh, Chloe, you're still on your timer.
Oh, I'm just a hot mess right now. It's okay.
There you go. We're back. We're back. So I think we laid out the RWA thing fairly decently.
Yeah. Um, so where I find this all really interesting to follow, particularly as someone who does not have any sort of legal background at all, where I'm finding this really interesting right now is, as I mentioned before we went on our sprint, how well everything is documented.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I keep I keep like reading these things and thinking, "Oh, that is wild speculation there," and then I follow the link and it's literally like a quote from the person it's referring to. So like a lot of people have been um called out for weird lies in this. Again, the Damon Suede, the president of RWA, has definitely been called out on some things where either he didn't explain himself well or he flat out lied. Some of them could be that he didn't explain himself well. There was a really weird twist in all of this where it came out that back in September, he said that he knew the group who wrote under the pen name Chuck Tingle personally.
Oh my
And out
gosh, you
of
and Chuck
nowhere,
Tingle.
this guy's batshit crazy. I think it's important. Like Chuck Tingle writes these really weird erotica one-off things. He's known for everything he does is really insane, and nobody knows who he is. Damon Suede said in an interview that he knew the group, that it was a group who wrote under this name. Oh, that's fantastic, Haley. He wrote under this, that it was a group writing under this name, and Chuck Tingle just put out a statement like in the middle of all of this saying, no, I'm one person and he doesn't know me. So it's been kind of crazy, these things that are coming out. Both I could be wrong about this. It might have only been one of them, but I believe both Tisdale and Davis have come out now saying that they thought the penalties were too harsh on Milan,
Yeah.
and that all they wanted was an apology from her. But then if you look at their initial statements, it is explicit that they want an apology in addition to all of these other things.
Yeah.
And now the other thing that I find really interesting with this is that RWA members, both the like national members and then the chapters, are pretty much unanimous in being really upset about this whole thing. It is an extremely small faction of people who are coming out in defense of Damon Suede, of Tisdale, of Davis.
Yeah.
And they mostly seem to be in their inner circle. And meanwhile, many of the RWA chapters have issued statements saying that they don't agree with what's going on. A lot of members have dropped out. a lot of the people who had put in submissions for the Rita Awards, which is RWA's big award thing, um, they have asked for their submissions to be canceled and to get refunds. It's all pretty,
Ugly.
yeah, it's all really ugly, and it's a situation that it's not clear on how RWA can fix this. There's also an issue with a lot of these people calling for Suede's resignation, and Suede is refusing to and claiming that the organization will fall apart without him.
This must be very difficult from his perspective. I mean, like, I'm sure he does not perceive himself as someone who like isn't an inclusive person, right? Like he
Yeah.
literally writes gay fireman
And
erotica.
he literally is a gay man.
Yeah, so he should theoretically have like some experience with this, and I kind of see where like probably for him there's probably some kind of like a sense of like I'm just trying to like follow the rules and be diplomatic, and like I'm only like looking at what like, and I bet in his mind it's a this is what the law says, and it could be he has lawyers who are like telling him some things to do, but wow, it just so this just the thing that stuns me about this is like I feel like romance, like science fiction, is like one of the few places you can go these days where like really seriously the community should be pretty open. Like, I mean, yes, obviously, like we still get a lot of like, you know, straight cisgender, what is it, normative type
Yeah.
romance. I
Yes.
mean, I will. That's what
Yes.
I write, right? Like, because I am a straight cisgender
Yeah.
normative person, but there's also other stuff out there, and I've always felt like actually the more I get into the community, the more I realize that there's a huge variety of people, especially in the indie community, who like write all kinds of interesting stuff. So,
M is a huge market.
oh yeah,
That's male on male.
enormous.
Huge market.
But
Yeah.
so is stuff like reverse harem, right? So
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Reverse harem is
shifters.
also huge.
Like,
Yeah.
if we're allowed to have relationships with dragons, then like really, what's off the table?
Hmm.
um, and I think that so I'm kind of stunned that like that there isn't a harder line against any racism, and that like we don't sort of as a community go like, you know, of course times change, we learn things, like what we did 10 years ago might not have been as sensitive as we thought it was then. But so like how hard would it have been for these authors, for this particularly this Davis woman, to like read Courtney Blonde's tweet and be like,
Hmm.
oops, my bad, right?
Yeah.
Like she could so easily have gone, I am so sorry, I did some bad stuff.
Yeah.
Like it was very unintentional,
Yeah.
writing.
It was 20 years ago. It's so easy to say 20 years ago I wrote something really dumb.
Right.
And or like I was a different person 20 years ago, or we were a different world. 1999 was a very different world. And what she wrote
Yes.
probably was not nearly as offensive then as it is now. So
Right.
she could have even pointed that out. She could have said, I realize that it's tone deaf now, but
And
that was the world. And instead
she took on Courtney Milan and basically said I should be
yeah,
allowed to be like, how dare you call me racist? Which is the other
yeah,
thing that drives me, like, that I think is so crazy about this, right? Like, we are writers. Our field, like our careers depend on one of the fundamental rights that we have as like U.S.
yeah.
citizens, if we're all U.S. citizens here, which we might not be, right? This is YouTube, but like definitely, at least for like Chloe and I, like there's a whole like First Amendment thing that goes on here, right? There's freedom of speech, so like to say like to have any community censor a writer in any way like that when like what the writer is doing is not threatening, is not causing any imminent harm, when it's clearly not meant to like
Hmm.
and when it's just an opinion, right? It's not like like
Yeah.
Courtney Milan is stating facts that are untrue. She's just giving her opinion out there. And we as writers don't understand how important it is to be able to do that. Like, whoa, mind
Yeah.
blown. Who does
Yep.
that? I'm I I don't even
And
get it.
and then, if you ignore what the fact that the complaint is about racism,
Mm-hmm.
you brought up a couple of things that also, so it's come out that literally in the RWA bylaws, Courtney Milan was protected in her social media posts.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, it has come out that it's, I guess, explicitly stated. I don't remember exactly where I saw that now, but I'm fairly sure it was explicitly stated that you cannot be punished
Tweets. Yeah.
for your social media statements. Now, obviously, that's not in a legal situation. Is it? Again, I tried to remember the term earlier and can't. I don't remember if it's slander or libel, but
Libel. Yeah.
that's so that's something that RWA wouldn't get involved with, basically, because they have this statement. Um, and then the other thing is that they made a statement saying that she was not allowed to be saying all of the things that she was saying, that she was under a confidentiality agreement, basically. And when that statement came out, she posted a screenshot of a conversation that she had with a board member where she explicitly asked if she
Yeah.
was under a confidentiality agreement, and the board member said no.
She,
Um, so there's, even ignoring the actual like racism part in it, um, there's a lot of stuff. And that was where I was saying that like what Damon Suede was doing looked extremely shady and self-serving.
yeah.
The fact that like there's all this proof that what she is in trouble for is not something that she should have actually been in trouble for. And then the way that they went about it also violated the bylaws, the process that they
Yeah.
went through in order to remove her, was also against the bylaws. And there's been a lot of weird legal stuff where she was asked to step down by the president at the time. Damon Suede is a new president. When this first started, they were under the previous president, who asked her to step down over this issue, again, basically recuse herself, um, because the president had been told that the lawyers had instructed this. The lawyers had never, RWA's lawyers never said anything about her asking Milan to step down. So
So weird.
there's yeah, there's a lot of like really scandalous stuff going on. And now it turns out that they're going to be doing their own audit after they said that lawyers were going to be doing the audit for them.
Interesting. Wow,
Yeah.
it's like a whole big mess. But okay,
Yeah.
so
So we're going to do our
we're
last
gonna do
10.
our last sprint. Yeah.
And then we're going to have some closing statements on this
Let's
mess.
have
And
closing statements. Yeah.
yeah. And then like we'll maybe touch upon this again in the future if something critical happens.
Probably
But
will. Yeah.
yeah, because it's fascinating.
So
Okay, so we
fascinating.
will see you guys in 10 minutes.
All right. So let's see how we did.
I got 324, which
Nice.
was good, because my longer sprints were not doing well.
Yeah, I got 305. So let's see. What is
Oh,
that
that's good for you.
for?
You because you're oh no, you do well on the short sprint, right?
It's good for me generally right now. I mean, I'd been doing
Oh,
so
okay.
poorly, right, that I
Aw.
so poorly in December that I really feel like I probably needed to do a little better. So let's see how far I got today in this. So I got 2,192 words for the session, so I feel pretty good
Oh,
about that.
nice.
Yeah.
Way better
Ooh.
than me. I got
Which is
1755.
still pretty good. Okay, so let's see. We've
It's
got
okay. Yeah. Again, I've been rough today, or rough this week, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with mine too. And it looks
And Haley's
like
already written 3 grand today. That's
that's
fantastic.
really seriously fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for those days to come back to me soon. I really need those back.
Yeah, right. It's not nano. This is the time of year when you just have to be self motivated so hard.
Right. Right. I was thinking about that yesterday, like trying to figure out why I'm going so much slower now than I was with my last novel. And I realized it was nano. I was able to like shut down everything and just work on it. And that's not the rest of my life.
Right. So okay, so shall we give closing statements on
Yeah,
the?
but I didn't actually think about what my closing statement was going to be. So I'm hoping you have a thought already prepared while I figure mine out.
Okay, I'm just gonna free flow this. So my thought is that we don't know all of the details, but what a freaking mess.
Yes.
And now, what conference are we gonna go to?
Yeah.
Because seriously, we can't go to the RWA stuff anymore. Like that's over. So until they get their stuff together, and I've been looking into this. I can't find a competitor organization that is as good for romance. Like that's it.
Yeah,
So
no, it's hard for writers specifically. Like there's is it Readers on the River, the one that that Ward and Ione are always at. But
I don't
that's a
know.
reading, like that's a romance novel convention for readers. It's not for writers to the best of my knowledge. So yeah, I don't know. I guess that's gonna be we're gonna have to table that plan and try to get into the 20 bucks 50K.
Yeah, yeah. Right. I think that's right. That's what we got to do is get to the 20 bucks 50K thing. So that's
Oh, Haley, I love that plan. Yeah, I'm really trying to get myself to be doing as many of these word sprints as possible. Because I'm in a bit of a quandary with my words right now. So
you know,
yeah, I'm hoping on my days off I can be picking up a bunch of these streaming sprints as well.
yeah, me as well.
Mhm.
Especially since there's that schedule that got posted to author tubers, right? So
Yeah.
why go to the conference, Herb? Because they're full of people. That was a question, right?
Because
So
they are full of people who are doing better at this than we
yeah, right,
are.
right,
And
right.
they
Yeah.
will tell us how to do better than what we are currently doing.
Honestly, like legit, I felt like this year it would be like networking is actually kind of a really important thing, right? Because
Yeah.
you want to be able to promote your stuff, and theoretically, like I mean, getting those like organic subscribers is so hard. So if you can at least cross promote with other authors, everybody stands a better chance at
Yeah.
picking up readers who actually want their stuff. So that's my thought is both like networking for promotion and learning how people market. Yes, it's called Author Tubers Facebook group. Author Tubers has a really nice listing of like people like us who do these kinds of things randomly. So I'm a writer. I hate people. You're a writer. You love people. You just don't like
Yeah.
interacting directly with them. There's a big difference there.
I'm a romance writer. I have to interact with people because then I have to know how people work.
Because you got to send newsletters
So
out.
anyway, so we were talking closing statements.
Yes, 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 yes,
This
yes.
is a hot mess, and we are waiting to see what is ultimately going to happen. And I am really like dying to know if RWA can somehow dig themselves out of this as they did with their last big scandal, the heterosexual one. The heterosexual scandal. Woo! But yeah, so this is something that definitely is going to have an impact on things like conferences, and this networking situation. This is definitely a group that again has helped a lot of authors, and to lose them would be a tragedy, but also they can't keep going as they are. They've lost all credibility in this.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And I am happy that I am eligible for Sci-Fi Writers of America if this doesn't pan out.
Seriously, right? Like, phew.
Luckily, I write paranormal romance, so I fit in multiple categories.
All right. So we'll
Yeah.
try to gossip about something else next week a little
Yes.
bit.
Yeah. Or
And
maybe we'll talk about like actual how to get better at writing stuff.
this was so relevant to like
It was
networking
relevant.
and the
Yeah.
industry. Totally relevant.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right. So we will see you guys next week with a brand new topic, I swear.
All right. Good luck with writing this week, guys. And thanks for joining us.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.